Bonjour and greetings. It is me, you see, the R.O.G. He's back again. Well, remember, I did that lovely video about the fact that there are no minor keys in modern music. None. There's only major keys. And I was expecting a flood of comments from the Rogers Law fans, flip-flopping in the old comments. So, oh no, that's not true. That's not true. Because because every major key has a relative minor key. It does, but not since 1955 it doesn't. Now we've only got major keys. And a good friend of mine, his daughter is learning to play the piano. And I'm just waiting for the moment when she starts to learn about keys, because there's a lie, as we know, that has been propagated since the 50s after the American Music Standards Institute, something along those lines, abolished the original minor key completely, because they said that the students couldn't understand why there was no relative minor key. They didn't understand it. I thought, well, there isn't, because in the 15th century, in the Renaissance, the major key was changed, because the major key had a relative minor key at that time. It always did. So E major, its relative minor was E minor, and it was relative. A relative means similar but different. So, for example, if I can remember it, in the original major key, say for E major, I think it was E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C, and D sharp. The relative minor, E minor, at E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, and D sharp. Similar but different. And so most of the chords were the same as well, shared between the keys, because they were relative. Well, in the Renaissance, as I waffled on before in the previous video, it was an age of positivity and growth and development and innovation. And it was deemed in the schools of Vienna, the music schools of Vienna, that having the flat six and the major scale, it was creating a sort of dissonance that didn't really fit. Even though they were obviously tuned to 432, 430, 417 in some cases hertz, there was still a dissonance. And I thought, it doesn't really reflect our modern society, so we'll put a natural sixth in it. Hence the modern major scale was born. Hence the modern major scale has no relative minor, because the original minor key is not related to the modern major at all. That natural sixth, it just doesn't work. So that's why people get confused about it. Well, the lie that we've had sold in schools since the 50s or 60s is this imaginary minor key. That's the imaginary relative of the major key, the modern major key. And it doesn't exist. What? What? You say what? What? It does not exist. How do we know this? How can we prove this? This is what I can't wait for my mate's daughter to be taught about keys. And when she comes back and she's playing Greensleeves and says, oh, Uncle Rog, come and look at this great one. This is me playing Greensleeves in A minor. And I can say to her, hold on, that's not A minor. And she'll say, yes, it is, because my assumed authority figure told me that I must comply, conform, and obey to the lie that A minor, that this is A minor, and that this is Greensleeves in A minor, when it has no sharps and flats in it. And I think, it's got no sharps or flats in it though. And she'll say, yes, but that's what my assumed authority figure told me to believe. That a scale, a key, that A minor has no sharps or flats in it, and it is a key. It is a unique expression of notes in its order, and it's also a scale because it's a unique progression of notes in any order. And I'll be able to say to her, okay, if you say that A minor has no sharps and no flats in it, yeah, and that it is a key, and a key is a unique set of notes and chords that only exist in that one particular doodah, then using the crucible of science. Science, the crucible from which we learn. I will say to her, okay then, show me on this piece of paper, here, at this staff, at the old stave, I want you to show A minor and C major. Here we are on the stave. Show me the difference between A minor and C major on the stave. And she won't be able to do it. Because they're exactly the same. Because it's not a key. It's not a scale. A minor is a mode of C major. It is the Aeolian mode. Now, skipping on further forwards to the update, I've discovered something else brilliant. The liars in modern music who tell us that the C major has a relative minor called A minor, which is exactly the same, because it's not a relative, it is exactly the same because it is the mode. You look at Greensleeves and A minor prior to 1940, it has G sharp in it because that is A minor. Yeah, that is A minor. First 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, major 7. That's the minor scale, the minor key. Now, interestingly, I discovered, was it last week? Was it that? I don't know. The melodic minor, as Mozart invented it, in the ascending, is actually not just a scale, which is a unique set of notes, it is also a key. Sit back and think about this one, guys and girls and little children and little bunnykins, because it's true. E, melodic minor, has got E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp and D sharp. Now, obeying the rules of how you determine whether something is a key or not, which is we take the old 1-3-5 rule, don't we? Like we do when we're learning the chords in C major. So we take the first note, C, then we skip a note because that's 2, then we take the third note, that's E, then we skip a note because that's 4, then we take the fifth note, which is G, and that gives us C major. And then we shift that pattern over, so we start with D, which is as number 1, we skip number 2, which is E, we then pick number 3, which is F, we then skip number 4, which is G, and then pick number 5, which is A, and it gives us D minor. Using that strategy, and the idea is that you should be able to make, from doing that process, one of the 4 triads: major, minor, augmented, diminished. Yeah, if you can do that without altering any notes, you've got a key. Melodic minor does that. E melodic minor does that. You do that process, every note in E melodic minor and every note in E harmonic minor, the original minor key, you will find that the sequence of sharps and flats is unique to those. And, more importantly, you can express it using science, the crucible from which we learn, on the stave. You can actually show it. If I put G sharp on this stave, I'm playing an A minor. Name me another key that's got just G sharp in it. Because it's a key. Melodic minor, harmonic minor scale is not just a scale, it's a damn key. It's the original minor key. The melodic minor, in its ascension, which is the pure scale, because coming down it's the Aeolian mode of the major scale, is, in its ascension, as Mozart created it, it is a key and a scale. Now, what would be really cool is the musical people, the musical dudes, musical dudes, plip-plop in the comments, I want you to have a look. Take the harmonic minor scale, create the chords from it using the 1-3-5. Take the melodic minor scale, create the chords from it, 1-3-5. Remember, it's the melodic minor that goes up is the unique scale. The one that comes down is the Aeolian mode. So just the one that goes up. And see what you think when you try to compose music using this enormous set of chords that are completely different. And also you'll notice that unlike the modern major scale, all 4 triads exist in the key. That's why there are 4 triads. Yeah. If you get a modern guitar teacher and you say, why is that major, minor, augmented and diminished, but there's no augmented triad in the major scale? They'll be quiet. They won't know. They won't know. It's because Before 1955, the minor scale and the major scale had a flat 6 in and a major 7, and all 4 triads existed. And in the melodic minor scale and key, all 4 exist without having to change a single note. That, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, is the latest update. There are more hidden keys than we're being allowed to know about. There are more keys than we ever thought possible. But just remember, it's not reality, it's the internet.